Welcome to Business Connection. I'm Liz Spencer. Hey, we have an old friend in the studio. You might recognize Mike Baker from Dutchman Heating and Cooling. We've talked before. It's been a hot summer, and I bet you have been out on a lot of service calls with that cooling problem.
Yes, we've actually had quite a number of calls. We're thankful, quite honestly, for the work. We are in this time of year in the hero business, trying to make sure that we're responding to people's needs to get them more comfortable.
Right. Well, and I think hero is an accurate term when you're hot and you're in the double digits or triple digits like we are now, and you're going to service anybody. I don't have to have bought anything from Dutchman. I can have a 10-year-old air conditioner and still call up, and you guys will come be that hero.
Absolutely. A lot of parts are relatively universal when it comes to heating and air conditioning equipment, and we do our very best to keep well-stocked trucks so that we're able to not only go out and look at all types of units and be experts in that type of service, but be prepared with parts on hand so that we can go ahead and fix it right the first time.
That's awesome. And what do we need to be thinking about when it comes to our air conditioners right now? They're doing a yeoman service.
Absolutely they are. Yeah, with 100-degree heat, they're being taxed beyond probably design specifications. Really, when systems are designed for this area, they don't expect 100-degree weather day after day, week after week. And in order to have the systems working this hard, we really need to make sure that they're well maintained. A clean and check is a very important thing to make sure that they're able to get good airflow across the coils, keep themselves cool, as cool as possible, because when they're dirty, they don't get good airflow, and they can overheat in normal weather, put them to the task with 100-degree weather, and they can really cause part failures, certainly lack of performance, lack of efficiency, lack of comfort.
Yes, that lack of comfort's a big thing. I think we truly appreciate your business and what you do in those moments of crisis, whether we're really hot or we're really cold because the heater has failed. So we're really hot now. We're thinking about our air conditioner, but what do we need to be thinking about the heater as we go forward into the fall season, which isn't unfortunately too far away?
Yeah, it's hard to think about that we might need to turn the heat on when the windows being open would be much warmer than that. But the reality is, as soon as summer stops, it's time to start thinking about your heating season as well. Really, before each season, we like to get in and maintain the equipment, make sure that we're tearing it apart, so to speak, getting down to the dirt and grime to clean it all out, make sure that it's put back together, checked over thoroughly so that it can run efficiently to deliver a reliable kind of comfort all season long. So we like to make sure that that's done, whether it be winter or summer.
Right. Well, I think when we were talking off camera, I thought you did a great analogy that the heater or the air conditioner, a little bit like a car. We, as the consumer, we like to jump into the car, turn it on, and make sure it goes. Same thing with our, but we're smarter when we get those oil changes and, in this case, heater checkups and air conditioning checkups.
Yes, ideally we'll avoid breakdowns by doing that maintenance, and much like a car needing oil changes routinely, all manufacturers do recommend routine maintenance, that being an annual cleaning on the heating system, and then again an annual cleaning on the cooling system.
Now you do something a little different, is that you're really customer driven. You really are concerned with knowing your customer. Tell me why that's important.
Well, we're a Naperville company, and I believe that this is our home, so to speak. I live here in Naperville. We like to support the community around us. As far as getting to know our customers, I grew up in my dad's heating and air conditioning business, and it feels like customers that you see routinely are almost an extended family member. And you want to make sure that you're addressing all their needs, and then you're reaching out to help them in their community, whether it be through routine HVAC needs, or it be supporting maybe a Little League baseball team, the public library, stuff like that.
That's awesome. Now, we've talked a lot about servicing, but you also sell and install heating and air conditioners, and those I kind of compare that to roofs, and it's not necessarily the sexy purchase. Right. We're not like inviting all our friends over to say, hey, come on, let me show you my heater. But tell me tell me about when we should be thinking about doing that. How long do these systems typically last, and then what should we be looking for when we're thinking of that big purchase?
Well, that's a, wow.
That's a big question.
Yeah, well put though. The average life of residential air conditioning systems is considered to be 15 years, and on heating systems, it's 18 years.
Wow. Okay.
And although you may not consider it the most sexy thing to purchase, it's not like the flashy car that we're going to drive around.
Right.
It's the one thing that you're going to rely on potentially even more than your car, because if you wake up one morning without heat in the winter or without air conditioning in the summer, you realize that this is something you depend on year-round, day in, day out, and especially in the evenings when we're trying to sleep. And in fact, I had one customer that he had a party shortly after an installation, and he actually did bring all his guests down to show off the system that we had put in. He had commented in 27 years of living in his home, he has never been happy with a contractor doing what he thought a thorough enough job. And he said, we were the first company to fully go through everything step by step, and not only in the planning process, but the installation process and the follow-up to fully satisfy him. And he felt like he was probably going to be the most picky customer that we could ever come across. I don't know if that's entirely true or not, but we're just thankful that we could meet and all his expectations and even surpass them. And that's what we expect to do. I think that's the niche in the marketplace. Too often people are willing to pay what they need to for a service, but they just expect to have lower expectations than I think they ought to. And what we can deliver with our type of installation or matching of new systems to somebody's home is make them surprised at how comfortable they could be. So often people accept that there's a hot area or a cool area in their home, and that's just the way it's been built, and we can't do anything about it. But the reality is, when we design the right systems and do the proper installation, we can make a big difference in those areas.
That's something I didn't think about, that you could actually improve my heating and my cooling.
Yeah, and although you may not think it's all that cool going into it, it can be quite comfortable when we're done.
There you go. Mike, I can tell you really love what you do. What's the best part of your day?
The best part of the day is when I go back and I look at our customer survey responses or some of the unsolicited responses we get. I just got a 3-page letter describing how wonderful a job we did from the beginning of the service call to going in and helping them consider a new system, and then going ahead and installing that system after the design process, and following through with making sure that every need and desire was met and in fact exceeded. That's our goal on every job.
That's awesome. Well, Mike, thanks for taking time out of your busy day to come chat with us a little bit about Dutchman Heating and Cooling. We're going to be right back with more Business Connection. Stay tuned.